Chúng con kính bạch trên sư thầy, kính bạch quý sư thầy và cùng toàn thể đại chúng. Dear friends, so now we will practice 10 minutes of silent, peaceful sitting. We can follow our breathing and recite the name of the Buddha. Please find yourself a comfortable posture with your back upright. Relax your shoulders, relax your hands and arms. Relax, totally relax. You may like to sit cross-legged or sit in the half lotus position. If you can, you may like to sit in the full lotus position or with one leg in front of the other. And your hands can be placed on your knees with the palms facing down, relaxed on your knees. Or we can take our right hand, place it on our left hand, join our thumbs slightly together, and place both of our hands in our lap. Just resting, relaxing our whole body. We can do a scan from the top of our head all the way down to where we meet the floor. And if there's any place in our body that is still tense, we can allow it to relax. This is the time for us to enjoy coming back to this moment, coming back to our breath, coming back to be in touch with the Buddha, his wonderful qualities of compassion, of love and kindness. Be in touch with also the Buddha that is inside of us. You may like to close your eyes to help you concentrate. And if you feel sleepy, you can open your eyes a little bit and look down at the ground in front of you at an angle that makes you feel comfortable. And as you breathe in, you can recite A Di in your mind, and as you breathe out, Đà Phật, A Di Đà Phật, A Di Đà Phật. And just breathe normally. You don't need to force yourself to breathe deeply or slowly or anything. Just follow your breath and enjoy reciting the name of the Buddha. We'll begin with the evening chant in Vietnamese, and later when I say Namo A Di Đà Phật, I chant Namo A Di Đà Phật, then all of us will just repeat exactly in the same way and the same melody.
Thu nhiếp thân tâm vào chánh niệm, rõ thoát ngày nay đã qua đời sống ngắn lại, hãy nhìn cho kỹ ta đã làm gì, ngưỡng mong đại chúng tinh tấn nhiếp tâm niệm Phật. Nam mô A Di Đà Phật. Nam mô A Di Nam mô A Di Đà Phật. Nam mô A Di Đà Phật.
Di Đà Phật. Thỉnh Thầy hướng dẫn cho các em tụng bài khai kinh bằng tiếng Anh. Các con.
My dear brothers, sisters, and friends, maybe we could get some help from the elder brothers and sisters to pass out the chanting sheets, the chanting books. So each of us can have a copy. And for our younger friends, we can continue to sit and enjoy our breathing along with the recitation of the Buddha's name. We try to keep the energy of peace and calmness from the meditation so we can prepare for chanting.
Again, please mindfully pass the sutras. Please maintain the quiet energy, like Thai is saying.
And dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, as soon as you receive your chanting book, then together let us turn to page 3, okay? Page 3 of the chanting book. And today we will chant the sutra opening verse on page 3. So as soon as we receive our chanting book, we can turn to page 3. And dear friends, so now that everyone has a copy of the chants that we are going to do, and we will listen to 3 sounds of the bell, and then we will begin. So let us calm down, find ourselves a comfortable posture, come back to ourselves. We listen to the 3 sounds of the bell together. Enjoy our breathing and enjoy reciting the name of the Buddha. And at this moment, we can direct our minds and and direct our hearts to the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The Dharma is deep and lovely. We now have a chance to see it, study it, and practice it. We vow to realize its true meaning.
Please turn to page 21. Again, that's page 21. Please do so mindfully and quietly. I heard these words of the Buddha one time when the Lord was living in the vicinity of Savatthi at the Anathapindika monastery in the Jeta Grove. Late at night, a diva appeared whose light and beauty made the whole Jeta Grove shine radiantly. After paying respects to the Buddha, the diva asked him a question in the form of a verse. Many gods and men are eager to know what are the greatest blessings which bring about a peaceful and happy life. Please, Tathagata, will you teach us? This is the Buddha's answer. Not to be associated with the foolish ones, to live in the company of wise people, honoring those who are worth honoring. This is the greatest happiness. To live in a good environment, to have planted good seeds, and to realize that you are on the right path, this is the greatest happiness. To have a chance to learn and grow, to be skillful in your profession or craft, practicing the precepts and loving speech, this is the greatest happiness. To be able to serve and support your parents, to cherish your own family, to have a vocation that brings you joy, This is the greatest happiness. To live honestly, generous in giving, to support to relatives and friends, living a life of blameless conduct. This is the greatest happiness. To avoid unwholesome actions, not caught by alcoholism or drugs, and to be diligent in doing good things. This is the greatest happiness. To be humble and polite in manner, to be grateful and content with a simple life, not missing the occasion to learn the Dharma. This is the greatest happiness. To persevere and be open to change, to have regular contact with monks and nuns, and to fully participate in Dharma discussions. This is the greatest happiness. To live diligently and attentively, to perceive the noble truths, and to realize nirvana. This is the greatest happiness. To live in the world with your heart undisturbed by the world, with all sorrows ended, dwelling in peace. This is the greatest happiness. For he or she who accomplishes this, unvanquished wherever she goes, always he is safe and happy. Happiness lives within oneself. Without talking, please turn to page 43. Again, that's 43. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Dwelling in the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty in the world. Dwelling in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of the Sangha, shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Taking refuge in the Buddha in myself, I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love. Taking refuge in the Dharma in myself, I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation. Taking refuge in the Sangha in myself, I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all beings and support their transformation. Reciting the sutras, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruit with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path.
Di Đà Phật, các con tụng kinh rất là giỏi. Bây giờ các con gom kinh lại và mời tất cả quý thầy, cô và các con đứng lên. Mời các con đứng lên. Các con đứng lên nhưng mà mình vẫn giữ yên lặng. Con dẹp cái kệ kinh con để chỗ kệ kinh. Rồi các con, anh Hoàng. Các em giơ tay lên, nhón chân lên, dài cái rồi ngồi xuống.
Hi, if you can hear me, rub your belly. Very nice. If you can hear me, raise your arms high, high, high. And then if you can hear me, bring your hands down, try to touch your toes. And then if you can hear me, raise your hands up high one more time. A little shake, shake, shake. Back down to your toes. All righty, I guess now we can sit down.
Cảm ơn anh Hoàng. Mời các con ngồi xuống. Di Đà Phật, chúng con thỉnh Thầy chia sẻ cho các em thấy được cái sự quan trọng của quy y tam bảo, khác nhau giữa những em chưa quy y và những em quy y tam bảo để các em hiểu rõ. Thỉnh Thầy nói thẳng bằng tiếng Anh cho các em luôn.
Nam mô A Di Đà Phật. Con kính thưa trên sư thầy, kính thưa quý sư cô và kính thưa quý anh chị, cô bác, quý cô bác phụ huynh và quý anh chị giúp đỡ cho các em hôm nay. Con xin phép được chia sẻ bằng tiếng Anh. Con và sư đệ con xin phép được chia sẻ bằng tiếng Anh cho các em dễ tiếp thu hơn. Yeah, A Di Đà Phật. So, dear friends, how was the meditation and how was the chanting? It's good.
Xin lỗi Thầy. Đã con quay về phía Thầy, ngồi quay lại. Đúng rồi.
Your legs hurt?
Yeah.
Your legs in pain? Imagine the Buddha, in order to find the teachings, that we receive during this retreat, and will continue to receive later on, the Buddha had to sit underneath the tree and reflect deeply for 49 days, 7 weeks like that. And we sat for how long? Maybe a little bit under an hour, huh? And we think that the Buddha did something so great. And his motivation was love. His motivation was compassion. He loved his parents very much. He loved his family very much. When he was a prince, he had a wife, and he also had a child, and he loved his family very much. He also loved his people very much as a prince. And he wanted to do something to find a way for everyone to be happy, to be able to transform, to be able to not suffer anymore. And in order to do that, the Buddha had to go through a lot of difficulties and trials. The Buddha sat in the forest for 6 years, and of course he stood up and walked around in the forest for 6 years, but he practiced self-mortification, which means in that time in India, people believed that, some traditions believe that the more that you punish your own body, the more that you deprive yourself of feeling happy, feeling good, the more the gods above will feel pity for you, will have compassion for you, and bring you closer to enlightenment, to finding the answer to happiness. Many people believe that. And the Buddha practiced in the forest in the tradition of self-mortification for 6 whole years. He sat at night in the forest by himself. And the Buddha said in the sutras that sometimes he would sit, and even just the rustling of the wind going through the bushes, going through the leaves and the trees in the forest could strike a lot of fear in someone who isn't determined. You could think that it's a snake about to drop down and bite you. There's a lot of snakes in India. A snake in the bush, come out and bite you. And the Buddha practiced self-mortification like that. He ate only a handful of beans per day for a long period of time until when the Buddha touched his spine, he could touch his spine by just reaching down to his stomach. Yeah. So he really, really, really wanted to do something to find the truth, find the answer, to help everyone be happy. And he sacrificed a lot. So the Buddha is our teacher, right? The Buddha is not a god, and he is our teacher. And the reason why he is our teacher is because he can do things that we cannot do yet. But we all have the capacity of becoming teachers, right? Okay, a show of hands, who here wants to be a teacher when they grow up? Wow, look, the younger brothers and sisters too. So we all have a teacher, and because our teacher is very nice, very kind, or has treated us very well in school, that's maybe why we want to become a teacher, right? Or why else do we want to become a teacher? Because we like being around kids. So the Buddha wanted to become a Buddha because he had a lot of love and compassion for all beings. He wanted to find a way to enlightenment. The Buddha was a human being, just like every one of us. Like we mentioned many, many times before. But the Buddha didn't only practice to perfect himself in this life. It is said that in many, many lives ago before, the Buddha also perfected his virtues, his good qualities. So it takes a long time to become someone as beautiful and as perfect as the Buddha. But the Buddha said that we can all do it. Because if the Buddha can do it, then so can we. There's a story, I'll tell you a quick story. One of my favorite stories is in one life, the Buddha was a prince. And the prince's name was Mahasattva, Mahatakdoa. And he had 3 brothers. Let's just name them Bill, Joe, and Takdoa, okay? So Bill, Joe, and Takdoa, one day he went into the forest together to play, and Bill and Joe were the older brothers, and Takdoa was the youngest prince. Takdoa, although he was the youngest, but he always showed, ever since he was very little, traces of being compassionate to animals, being very kind to the people in the palace, to the servants, to the maids. So when they went into the forest, Bill, Joe, and Takdoa went to play. And when his brothers were about to leave the forest after a long day of playing and having fun in the forest, he was the last one to leave. And just on the outskirts of the forest, he found a hole. And his brothers were there, and they found a hole. And within the hole, they saw a mama tiger. A mama tiger that looked very frail, very thin, and she looked like she was about to die. But that wasn't the worst thing. Not only was the mama tiger inside of this big ditch, this hole, there were also 3 baby cubs, very small. Although they looked pretty well fed, but he knew for a fact that if she couldn't get outside of that hole to get food, then those little children, her cubs would never be able to survive. And so at that time, Prince Mahatakdwa was very touched. He wondered, what could I possibly do for these cubs? And what about the mama tiger? So he asked his brothers to leave the forest and go home first. He said, "Dear brothers, I just want to enjoy some more time in this forest. It's very beautiful here, and I want to walk around and maybe sit and meditate for a bit." So as he sat down and his brothers left the forest, he thought very deeply about what he could possibly do. And Prince Mahatakdwa, he thought about many, many different ways to try to save the life of the mother tiger and her cubs. If he were to take a life of another being and feed it to the mama tiger or to the cubs, then it might be able to save the whole family. But he thought that that's taking the life of another being. So can you guys guess what he did? Guess what he did? What he did was he wanted to jump into the hole and allow the mother tigress to eat him and then have enough strength to feed her cubs. So when he decided to do this, before he jumped into the hole, he even thought, if I jump into this hole, the mother tiger is too weak to come to eat me because there's no scent of blood. Because, animals like tigers, they really like fresh meat, right? So what he did was he decided to take a sharp branch of a tree. He broke off a branch of a tree, and he made a little cut in his close to his throat, so blood would drip out. And once he did that, he joined his palms and he jumped into the pit. And this is one of the past life stories of the Buddha. Please do not go jumping into pits and sacrificing yourself for mother tigers. But you can see this is the ultimate of giving, the ultimate of compassion, right? Isn't this the ultimate? There's nothing that can surpass that kind of love, that kind of compassion. And we, as human beings, not all of us are ready to do that. However, in the Buddha's past life, he did something like that. And there are many, many other wonderful stories about the Buddha's past life. So is he worthy of being our teacher? Very much. The Buddha is the one who is enlightened, completely awakened. And he understands life as it is. The reason why we suffer is because we understand, but we understand according to our own understanding. We don't understand things as they truly are, right? For example, you see, this, I gave this example a while ago, but if you look at the flowers on the altar, why do we offer flowers to the Buddha? Does anyone know? Can someone raise your hand and tell me? Yeah. To give respect to the Buddha. Good. Anyone else? Yeah, bên nhỏ đi. Yes, he was very nice and kind. And we can also do the same too. The reason why we offer these flowers to the Buddha, one reason is to remind us that life is impermanent. Right? Flowers are beautiful, but they wither and die. But the Buddha teaches us that although life is impermanent, we can use this body to do something beneficial for others. We can find a way to live happily, to help others live happily. And so one day when we are a beautiful flower, we offer our beauty to many people. And one day when the flower withers, then it just withers. The flower becomes compost and it becomes a flower again, right? So the Buddha understands the nature of that flower. It's impermanent. So when the flower withers and the flower dies, the Buddha isn't sad, but he understands that the flower is the nature of impermanence. He understands that everything is the nature of no self. No self means I don't have a separate self. It doesn't mean I am no one. It means we don't have a separate self. How do we know this? For example, if one of us in the chánh điện, or 2 or 3 of us in the chánh điện talk during chanting, what happens? Sư thầy phải nhắc, đúng không? Mấy anh lớn phải nhắc, mà nhắc đâu phải là nhắc một mình người đó đâu, nhắc tất cả mọi người luôn. We have to remind everyone, not only that person. So aren't we very connected to each other? One person in this retreat maybe gets into a fight. The whole retreat will know that this person got into a fight, and it ruins the energy of the retreat, right? And other people are hurt, for example, or if, so we are all connected to each other, and the Buddha sees that we are all connected. There's no separate self. That's why the Buddha isn't stuck on anything. The Buddha understands that his suffering is also my suffering. Like all living beings are the same in the same way. You guys know the ocean? The waves on the ocean and the bubbles on the ocean? Yeah. Sometimes when there's waves that come crashing in, there are bubbles, right? The bubbles are here and there. But what are bubbles? Bubbles are just water. The waves are just water. The ocean is just water. So we call it bubbles, we call it the wave, we call it the ocean, we call it the tide, but it's just water. And all of us are the same. Your name is Jack, your name is John, my name is Andy, his name is Billy. We might look a little bit on the different on the outside, but deep on the inside, we all want to be happy, and we all want to not suffer. And the teaching of the Buddha is that teaching. The Buddha found the way how to live more happily. How do I suffer less? And how do I help the people around me do the same? There's no guarantee that we will not suffer in life. Suffering is a fact. This morning, if you heard the Venerable teach the Four Noble Truths, suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the path to the end of suffering, then you understand that suffering is a fact, right? So we have to suffer. We will, when we become old, our legs will start to be nhức mỏi. Our backs will start to bend. We might have health problems, so on and so forth. Even when we feel angry, even when we are annoyed, we already feel suffering. So suffering is a part of life. But the Dharma teaches us how to treat our anger. The Dharma teaches us how to treat our legs. For example, when you grow old, and then your legs become very wobbly, and your legs don't have a lot of health anymore, then the Dharma can save you. What you can do, you can sit there and niệm Phật, right? When you're young, the Dharma can help you. Although your legs aren't shaking and you're not losing any strength in your legs, you have a lot of strength. But if you know the Dharma, then you use your leg to help people. You come here to Chùa Đức Viên to help công quả with Quý Sư Thầy, right? That is the way. That is the path. So the Buddha taught us the way and the path to be happy. And if we can practice those teachings, we will not only be happy ourselves, but we will help our family be happy. Our society will be happy. Who here has problems with their parents? Be honest, guys. Who here has problems with their parents? Maybe you're not raising your hands because your parents are here. Huh?
Well, the only way I think that we can help change, if our parents do something unskillful, we can't really teach them, right? Because we're their son, we're their daughter. But if we live in such a way that inspires them, that can change them. If you go home, if you go to Chùa Đức Viên and you go back home, and all of a sudden you become more helpful, you become so sweet, and you listen to mom and dad more. Now, when mom and dad says something and you don't understand the purpose behind it, or mom and dad makes you do something and you don't really want to do it, and instead of yelling back at them or showing that you are unhappy, you talk calmly with them, you speak lovingly with them, then they will learn from you and they will speak lovingly to you. How can I not speak lovingly when my child is speaking to me so kindly and so lovingly, right? So the Dharma is the path, the way of love, of understanding, the right way to go. There's the wrong way and there's the right ways. Dharma is the way that will always bring us happiness, always make us suffer less. Dharma is the teachings of the Buddha that will cause us to be more dễ thương. The more we do, the more we have to be dễ thương. If the more we do, the more we become không có dễ thương thì tu không có thành công. If we practice and we practice for a long time, but we are not lovely, we are not kind, we are not nice, then we haven't succeeded in our practice. So when we learn the Dharma, when we apply the Dharma to our lives, who do we learn the Dharma from? We learn the Dharma from Quý Sư Thầy. First, the Buddha, right? Right, the Buddha, and then Quý Sư Thầy. And we also learn the Dharma. We learn it through the books and through teachings of Quý Sư Thầy. But when do you really get to practice it? When you're with your friends, right? Do you guys know Bát Nhã Tâm Kinh? No, not Bát Nhã Tâm Kinh. Or practicing A Di Đà Phật, for example. When you're with your friends, where do you get to practice compassion? Where do you get to practice patience? Where do you get to practice love? Your friends. So if your friend or someone who's not your friend is giving you a hard time, is picking on you, then remember the Dharma. Don't forget the Dharma. If your friend comes up to you and says something that is not nice, remember the Dharma teaches what? Cause and effect. When people say not nice things to other people, later on, no one will want to talk to them. No one will want to listen to them. That's why we have the fruits on the altar. Whatever seed you plant is whatever fruit you will get. In Buddhism, we call this karma, nhân quả. Nhân is the seed. You plant the seed of an orange. Will you get a watermelon? Definitely not. You plant the orange, you will get an orange. If you plant a sweet kind of orange, you will get the sweet orange. If you plant bitter melon, you'll get bitter melon. So we have to be very careful. Everything we do bears our signature and our mark. Đức Phật A Di Đà, my teacher taught me one time. He explained the meaning of the word A Di Đà Phật one time, and my teacher, Đức Phật A Di Đà, symbolizes two main things: vô lượng thọ and vô lượng quang. You guys know, right? And vô lượng công đức. Vô lượng công đức is later on, but vô lượng thọ, vô lượng quang is limitless life, immeasurable life, and vô lượng quang is immeasurable light. Vô lượng công đức is immeasurable merits. Merits come from doing good things. So the Dharma of reciting Amitabha Buddha is also to practice to live in such a way where we become ourselves. We do a lot of good things. We make ourselves better every day. We Sư Thầy are here also to make ourselves better every day. To become more like the Buddha. And when we become more like the Buddha, we start to get hào quang, you know? Whenever we walk into the room, everyone will be happy to see us there. Oh, wonderful, Joshua. Wonderful, Joshua's coming into the room. Whenever you see we Sư Thầy, you're very happy to see them because they have an energy of happiness. They mean happiness. Just to see them makes you suffer less. But that's because they treat you with care. That's because they treat you with respect. That's because they understand you, right? So if we can practice vô lượng công đức, we do all the good things we can do, then we will have vô lượng quang. We will have a lot of light. Wherever we go, people, oh, she helped me when I fell last week, or he helped me last week when Jenny picked on me, or something like that. Huh? We will be known for being kind and being helpful. A light will come. We will bring peace to other people. Just all they have to do is just see us, right? And then, vô lượng thọ means later on, people won't remember us for what kind of clothes we wore, if we wore Gucci glasses, or like have a Prada purse, or if we have Nike Airs, or if we have a nice car. People won't remember us for that. But people will remember us for what we did for them, right? When we do something kind for others, and when we can be a light for others in the dark, vô lượng quang also means to be a light for others in the dark, right? When your friends are having a hard time, it's scary to go into the dark sometimes. But even the light of a small match can be bright enough to find the switch. And when you turn on the switch, the whole room will light up. Sometimes just one moment, one thought of wanting to help another person can make a big difference. One smile, one word of comfort can make a big difference, right? Vô lượng thọ, vô lượng quang, vô lượng công đức. And if we can do that for other people, be a light for others in the dark. We are there for our mother when she is suffering, there for our dad when she's suffering. Suffering is not hu ngồi khóc. That's not suffering. Suffering is also when mother is angry at us, when our father is angry at us. That is when they suffer a lot. So we have to find some way to be there for them as well. Maybe to give them space, and maybe to change ourselves. Just as monks, every day we always try to change ourselves. And in the end, if we can do that for our family, our friends, do it for society, then we will always continue to live on in other people's hearts. Just as the Buddha continues to live on 2,600 years later, we will always continue to live on in other people's hearts. And they will remember us for doing good things. When they find us, they will find us to thank us for the things that we have done. That's why when we chant A Di Đà Phật, it's also a way of expressing gratitude to the Buddha. So now we know the Buddha, right? The Dharma is the teachings of doing infinite good things, of becoming an immeasurable light, and the teaching of living on in others' hearts forever, of practicing the Dharma. And thirdly is the Sangha. We learn it from Quý Sư Thầy. We practice it with our brothers and sisters, and we are the Sangha, right? We are the Sangha. Đức Phật, Chư Bồ Tát are our teachers. Quý Sư Thầy are our teachers, and all of us here, we are Dharma brothers and sisters, okay? Before I end, it's a very sweet story. When in Westlock, in my temple, we have some small monks, and chú Trung Bổn, chú Trung Thọ are over there with them now. One night we had movie night, so it was time to watch a movie and eat popcorn. And one of the small young monks, he went into the kitchen, and I was making popcorn for the kids. And he was like, "Yay, popcorn!" You know, they don't get to eat popcorn a lot. And when I gave him the popcorn, and the other monks were still playing, the little monks were still playing in the basketball area, I told them to go. Em đi kêu mấy anh em huynh đệ đi qua bên kia đi chút xíu để thầy đem popcorn qua. And he went outside and he was like, "Let's go, Dharma brothers." Yeah. So sweet. I stood there and it moved me to tears. We need to live in such a way that we really feel like we are each other's Dharma brothers and sisters. Yeah? We are all very the same in many ways. We suffer in the same ways and we are happy in the same ways. So, now that we know about the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, we can also come to take refuge in it. When we don't have refuge, we don't know where to go. When we're confused, when we're angry, when we're sad, if we have refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, we know how to come back to our breathing. We know that we understand the nature of anger. Anger is just an emotion that arises, and it passes away. No one is angry forever, right? The Dharma teaches us that. The Dharma teaches that all of our emotions that arise are prone to come away. Anything that arises is prone to come away, right? So if we remember that when we're angry, then we won't hurt other people. We can make the world a better place. But if we don't have refuge, we don't remember the Dharma, then during the moment when we're angry or when we're sad, we are totally consumed by our anger and sadness. We don't have a way out. There's no light, and there's no feeling of safety. But if we have the Buddha, no fear. You have the Dharma, the path, the teachings, no fear. You can even go into the darkness, but you have the light of the Buddha's teachings. Go with no fear. And if you have your brothers and sisters around you, also step into everything with no fear, because you already have a solid place of refuge. So I just wanted to briefly explain the meaning of taking refuge in the Triple Gem. And I hope that we can make that aspiration to take refuge in the Triple Gem. In Vietnamese, we call Quy Y Tam Bảo. That means when you take refuge in the Triple Gem, you take the Buddha as our loving teacher, the Buddha's teachings as our way, and the Sangha and this place as our home. Yeah? Easy to understand, hopefully. Thank you so much for your deep listening. And we'll pass the mic to Quý Sư.
Cảm ơn các con vỗ tay hay quá, y như pháo vậy, là vỗ thêm lần nữa. Các con đã hiểu cái ý nghĩa tại sao mình cần quy y Tam Bảo, take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha. Cho nên thứ Bảy buổi sáng trong cái ngày sinh hoạt của mình sẽ có buổi lễ quy y. Các con về thưa với ba mẹ, các con đã hiểu rồi. Nếu các con muốn phát nguyện làm học trò của Đức Phật thì ba mẹ ghi đơn, rồi các con sẽ được quý sư thầy và quý thầy làm lễ giúp cho con phát nguyện để con được làm đệ tử của Đức Phật. Trước khi kết thúc thì chúng con xin thầy giúp chúng con dạy các em đọc cái trang 44, cái bài hồi hướng theo cái điệu nhạc của khi mình tụng bằng tiếng Anh.
So dear brothers and sisters, you are in luck because the melody is exactly the same. So let's maybe
thầy đọc cho mấy em nhắc lại thôi.
Dạ, dễ lắm mấy em. Cái âm điệu nó giống y chang như cái bài khai kinh vậy đó.
Tụi con nghe thầy đọc trước nè, ngồi thẳng lưng lên, nhắm mắt lại nghe, thầy đọc hay lắm.
Thầy sư chút xíu nữa không biết mình có thời gian, con xin phép dạy cho các em một bài hát ngắn được không thưa thầy sư? So quickly we'll go through this so we can sing a song, okay? Please repeat after me, my brothers and sisters. Reciting the sutras, practicing the way of awareness. Sorry, I just wanted to touch up on this. One thing I forgot to mention, why do we chant? Why do we recite the true sutras? So then we can instill them into our minds. So then it can save us when we're in situations of difficulty. That's why we always remind ourselves the way of understanding and love, okay? Gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path. When we practice the Dharma, we're happy, peaceful, fresh. Our parents are happy. Our teachers are happy. That's the tribute that we can give. And all of us are here because of our parents, because of our teachers, and because of our friends, right? So we dedicate this merit to them every time we chant. Now we'll do the melody together. Reciting the sutras. Practicing the way of awareness.
Practicing the way of awareness
Gives rise to benefits.
gives rise to benefit
Without limit.
without limit.
We vow to share the fruits
We vow to share the fruit
with all beings.
with all beings.
We vow to offer tribute. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends,
To parent, teachers, friends,
and numerous beings
and numerous beings
who give guidance and support along the path.
who give guidance and support along the path.
Who give guidance and support
Who gives guidance and support
along the path.
along the path.
One more time. Let's repeat it. I'm not sure if we know it enough to do it without the books, but repeat one more time and we'll learn the song, okay? Reciting the sutras.
Reciting the sutras.
Practicing the way of awareness.
Practicing the way of awareness
Gives rise to benefits.
give rise to benefit
Without limit.
without limit.
We vow to share the fruits
We vow to share the fruit
with all beings.
with all beings.
We vow to offer tribute
We vow to offer tribute
to parents, teachers, friends,
to parents, teachers, friends,
and numerous beings
numerous beings
who give guidance and support
who give guidance and support
along the path.
along the path.
Most importantly, don't forget to think of all of your teachers, your parents, and all of your friends when you share the merits, okay? Now, maybe we can release our legs a little bit. Dạ, mấy em xả chân chút đi, nha, chắc ngồi đau chân lắm. This is happiness, huh? Rồi, xả chân xong thì mình sẽ hát bài hát. You can keep your legs like that. Xin phép Ni sư dạy cho mấy em xả chân. Đúng ra khi mà mình xả chân á là mình không có nên xả chân lên hướng của tượng Phật. Nhưng mà không sao, cứ xả đi mấy em, cứ xả đi, không sao. Remember not to do this next time though, okay? Okay, everyone, please give me your attention. You can keep your legs like that, okay? Now we will offer a song to Amitabha Buddha, the Buddha, his teachings, and his community, okay? Some of you guys already know the song. Can everyone repeat after me? Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Well, one more time as loud as you can, okay? But not like screaming loud. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Okay, now the melody goes like this. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. One more time. Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. The second verse goes higher. It's really easy. It's just Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya. And the melody goes like this. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Okay, now try all together, really easy. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Ready? Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo
Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Tabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya.
Hey, one more. This time you can go crazy, okay? You can sway your arms if you want, or you can clap, okay? And we'll sing it higher. Ready? Give it all the best you got. This is an offering to the three jewels, to Amitabha Buddha and to Sutai. Are you ready? Hai ba. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Thấp hơn chút. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dharmaya Sanghaya. More power. Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo
Amitabhaya, Om Namo Amitabhaya, Buddhaya, Dhammaya, Sanghaya. Round of applause.
Rồi mời các con đứng lên. Đứng lên mình hát lại và mình phải thầy dạy mình nghiêng qua nghiêng lại, mình phải nghiêng qua nghiêng lại chứ.
Okay guys. Như sư
Rồi,
thầy
đứng
dạy
lên
mình
nha.
nè. Mấy em đứng lên. Rồi mấy em á, tròn tay người mà gỡ gần mình á. Vậy nè. Quý sư có thể tròn tay với nhau dạ, không sao. Tròn tay với nhau, đứng một vòng tròn cho mấy em cũng được dạ.
Mỗi người phải kiếm người đứng kế bên để tròn vai.
Okay guys, we're all brothers and sisters here. We're all one sangha, right?
Mọi người phải kiếm một partner, hai sư cô đứng ngang hàng cùng với nhau.
Nhưng mà mình cần người vỗ tay cho
với
các
nhau.
anh chị lớn và các phụ huynh
Cái
thì
partner.
sẽ vỗ tay cho các em tròn tay. Dạ, Okay guys, put your arms around your neighbor.
Thầy ra chính giữa này thưa thầy.
Put your arms around your neighbor.
Thầy ra chính giữa.
Like this.
Mọi
Put
người
your
phải
arms around
kiếm
your
một
neighbor.
người bạn kìa con.
Put your arms around your neighbor. Or not.
Thầy nghĩ là tất cả tụi con nhìn vào chính giữa nè. Tụi con face in, nhìn vào giữa cho thầy. Thầy nói nhìn vô giữa cho thầy.
Yeah. Hey everyone, let's turn to the center. Everyone turn to the center please. Turn to the center please. Please turn to the center. Yeah. Làm vòng tròn đủ không ta?
Dạ được.
Dạ đủ. Cái điện mình đủ để làm vòng tròn không? Okay guys, let's make a big circle.
Rồi đi theo sư thầy nè, make a circle.
Cái vòng tròn với sư, mấy em nghe theo sư thầy, đi theo sư thầy. Make a big circle.
Follow me to make
follow sư
a
thầy,
circle. To make a circle. Circle, a big circle. One big circle first. Big circle.
Come on guys, let's enjoy this moment, okay?
Rồi.
Yeah, make a big circle. Big
đi theo
circle.
con.
Yeah, connect.
Rồi chưa?
Connect the circle. Connect the circle. Connect the circle. Yeah, follow up bên đây. Yeah.
Make a big circle. Rồi mọi người giơ tay phải lên để lên vai của bạn mình.
Nếu mà không Okay, circle. Stand beside your friend.
Mọi người kiếm một người bạn cho mình.
Awesome guys. Hả?
Mỗi người kiếm một người bạn. Con làm bạn với nhau. Con
Connect,
đi kiếm một
guys,
người bạn.
connect.
Đây là bạn đâu?
Good
Bạn
circle.
vô luôn. Yeah, good. Together. Ready? Được rồi đó thầy.
Okay, if there's not enough space, nếu mà không đủ chỗ, con xin vài em vào hai hàng luôn. Dạ.
Rồi đi theo thầy nè. Nhã đi theo thầy, follow. Con dẫn mấy em đi theo nè.
Okay, hai hàng.
Con dẫn mấy em thôi, mấy em nè. Đi theo thành vòng.
Dạ, mình có thể làm một vòng tròn nhỏ cho các em ở chính giữa nếu mà không đủ chỗ. Một vòng tròn cho các em ở chính giữa.
Này, thành cái vòng này luôn đi con, thành cái vòng nhỏ này luôn rồi. Rồi nắm tay lại.
Ô.
Một.
Ok, rồi cho nhau nha.
Okay. Hello. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right. I need everyone to listen up real quick. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, raise up your right arm. Yay. Okay, 1 second. So, I think we're good with 2 circles on Ryan.
Guys, now, brothers and sisters, take your right hand, put it on the shoulder of the person on your right.
All right. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, raise
And
up your
your
right
left
arm and put it on your friend next to you.
Just like this,
Stay like that.
like this.
Stay like this. Okay.
Ready?
All righty. Put your
Yes.
arm on the friend next to you. Oh no. Just
Yeah. Ready? Hey everyone, don't be shy. Remember, we're all brothers and sisters here, okay? We're all Vietnamese, actually, we're not all Vietnamese, but we're all brothers and sisters. Trying to find a common ground. We all go to Chùa Đức Viên. Yeah. Ready?
All right. 3,
2, 1.
1.
Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. One more time. One more time with more power. More power, okay?
Om
Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya.
Dhammaya Sanghaya.
Come on, guys, unleash the power.
Om Namo
Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya.
Om Namo Amitabhaya.
Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Wonderful. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yay!
Hey.
Rồi tụi con ready chưa? Thầy nhờ chỗ này tránh ra một chút. Mấy anh tránh ra, tránh chỗ cho thầy. Mở cái thùng công đức. Tránh cái chỗ đó, bên này cũng tránh nha. Thầy đếm 1, 2, 3 là tụi con được quyền chạy ra cửa. 1, 2, 3 chạy ra.
And thank you, Elder.